What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where in this one, I'm going to talk a little bit about one of the defenders I'm very excited to watch this upcoming season for the Colts. Really excited to see what he's able to do. A safety that went to linebacker, right? And that seems to be a type that we're drafting right now, obviously, in this past draft. Hunter Wohler. Still not completely certain how to say his last name. Going to have to figure that out so I can get it right. But nonetheless, Jalen Carleys is the man that we're talking about today. Just some good information that I had seen on him. Went and looked up some stuff, and of course, have my own thoughts on Jalen Carleys. Now, coming out last year when we drafted him and I looked into him, I told you guys that this is a guy I'm very excited about. Somebody who, with his skill set moving from safety to linebacker, his body type skill set, this is somebody that we needed in that room. Like when you talk about like being able to cover these guys in the open field, EJ, had the athleticism for it, but not necessarily the instinct, right? So he was decent in coverage, but still a bit of a liability. And then when you look at Zaire Franklin, obviously quite the liability in coverage. And of course he has interceptions to his name, but been playing. He's played a lot of snaps. So when you look at Jalen Carleys, especially in terms of snap count, I mean, not anywhere near where Zaire Franklin has been, but I thought what we saw from him last year, and a little bit that we were able to see from him, I thought it was a good sample size to really tell us what's going to happen this upcoming season. Right, started 6 games, appeared in 10, had 1 pass defended, only ends up with 1 sack. Has 36 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss. So when you look at the stats, like stats aren't going to drive you crazy, right? They even have 17 game average here where he could have ended up with 61 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Nothing crazy from a stats perspective there. But of course, being on a team with Zaire Franklin and in the way that Zaire Franklin was using the Gus Bradley defense, like he's just somebody who Jalen Carleys is somebody who not going to get as many tackles, just like EJ Speed, not going to get as many tackles, right? So what I saw about Jalen Carleys, a very interesting number here, but it's from at Pro Football, well, it's at PFH OF Ambassador, the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ambassador on Twitter. It says Jalen Carleys, at Colts linebacker, 5th round rookie, number 151 overall on 242 total snaps, recorded an 83.1 PFF coverage grade in 2024, ranking 4th out of 189 qualifying linebackers. So one of the best coverage linebackers. You just got to have them on the field more often. Right, can't have a linebacker that's going to be hurt all the time. Those two things don't really coincide with each other. It's just like a running back that gets hurt all the time. When you just can't have it, right? But that's also why the Colts need depth at that position. But as long as we're healthy at the linebacker position, I really like how we look going into the season, right? Zaire Franklin, and what his role should be, right? The tackle merchant, the guy that against the run, we know he's going to put up the effort. We know that he's going to read and react, and he's going to be able to get those tackles, right? So in the run game, you expect him to still be able to help out. Jalen Carleys, of course, has worked on becoming a more bigger body guy as a linebacker in the NFL, but again, safety that transformed into a linebacker, so a little smaller in that position. And you're really looking for him to be your finesse guy, the guy that's going to be able to cover, the guy that's going to be able to go from sideline to sideline and stop any big plays from happening, and getting to the edge, right, and stopping a guy on the edge. Like that's going to be Carlisle's role. So going into, and then of course, as we're playing dime looks, Kenny's going to be important in that. What else are we going to do? But we're mainly going to be running, a lot of two linebacker sets. Lou Anarumo has already said there's going to be a lot of 2 linebackers. So with that being the case, right, you look at what we have, like the depth isn't, we don't have crazy talent at the depth, but we have Sagan Alubi, or Segun Alubi is still on the team, and having him as a backup Like, I feel good about that with what the Colts have done, like going and getting another safety turn linebacker. Could turn out to be an incredible decision for the Colts, right? You get one to replace another. And he heard good things coming out of rookie minicamp about Hunter. So excited to see what the defense is able to do this year and lose defense. Excited to see what Carlisle is able to do. And as we continue to move forward through the offseason, going to continue to, like, this is the part of the offseason where I'm going to start to, go through and look back at lose defense, right? And shout out to people in the comments. I believe DSG, I think is what it is. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong on that. Off the top of my head, I think it's DSG. Was in the comments and gave some good video ideas. And that was one of the things, talking about the X's and O's and looking at lose defense. That's definitely part of the plan, and definitely something that we're going to get into. I got a whiteboard specifically so we could talk about X's and O's at some point. So we're going to start getting into that. Of course, I got to look into things and figure out, what I want to look at specifically and what we're going to look at. So I'm not saying that's tomorrow's content by any means, but that we do have more things coming up and more things about the defense. I know there's a lot of questions, so I want to start diving into the defense, the type of things that we could see from the defense this upcoming season. So with all that said, just make sure if you enjoy the content, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. Of course, I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.